BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
From the NSW Supreme Court's declaration that police powers targeting protesters near places of worship are invalid, a crucial lesson emerges for Premier Chris Minns. Curtailing civil liberties should never be a hurried endeavor. Such measures, particularly those enacted in the fevered atmosphere of panic and incomplete facts following the now infamous Durrell Caravan incident, are fraught with peril. Justice Anna Mitchellmore's ruling on Thursday affirmed that these police powers impermissibly burdened the freedom of political communication, an implicit right enshrined in Australia's constitution. The court found itself in agreement with the Palestine Action Group, which argued that the laws were vague and could potentially ensnare any protest near a church or place of worship, irrespective of whether the demonstration's focus was on the religious community or the establishment itself. This broad application is particularly concerning given Sydney's landscape, where popular protest sites are often adjacent to religious institutions. For instance, Town Hall stands next to St. Andrew's Anglican Cathedral, while Hyde Park faces the Great Synagogue on one side and St. Mary's Catholic Cathedral on the other. The laws, as initially drafted, meant that even an inadvertent obstruction of worshippers by a protester could lead to a breach. This legislation, which prompted the Palestine Action Group's legal challenge, was purportedly a response to a protest not against a religious event, but a speech delivered at a synagogue by a member of the Israel Defense Forces. Reports indicate that Mr. Minns was cautioned by several lawyers within his own caucus about the bill's vagueness and probable unconstitutionality, warnings that were evidently disregarded. This tendency to gravitate towards a conservative stance at nearly every juncture appears to be a deliberate strategy, mirroring the playbook of former Premier Bob Carr. The aim seems to be to secure the support of law enforcement and eliminate any avenue for the opposition to accuse Labour of leniency on crime, while simultaneously appealing to a specific demographic that consumes media from tabloid outlets, talkback radio, and Sky News. In this haste to occupy the conservative high ground, Mr. Minns has stumbled into several public embarrassments, including an inaccurate claim of 700 instances of anti-Semitic attacks over the past summer, a figure later proven to be both numerically and qualitatively flawed. There is a suspicion that this emphasis on law and order may not resonate strongly with younger generations, who increasingly derive their news from sources beyond traditional conservative media or commercial television. More concerningly, this approach carries significant long-term costs. This week, NSW Coroner Teresa O'Sullivan issued a rare public statement regarding the grim statistic of 12 Indigenous deaths in custody this year, the highest annual figure on record. This is a profoundly distressing milestone, she stated, her words underscoring a deepening crisis. Data from the NSW Bureau of Crime Statistics and Research reveals a disturbing 18.9% increase in the number of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander individuals in custody over the past 5 years. These figures reflect the entrenched overrepresentation of First Nations peoples in the criminal justice system, a systemic issue that compounds the risks and vulnerabilities contributing to the rising number of deaths in custody, Ms. O'Sullivan elaborated, highlighting the deep-seated nature of the problem. The Attorney General, Michael Daly, offered a response that pointed to ongoing government efforts to remove ligature points in correctional facilities and a general commitment to closing the gap initiatives. Similarly, in the wake of a particularly horrific domestic violence incident this week, the government's proposed solution was to advocate for even tougher sentencing. However,